My sister-in-law thought mercury was a type of silver. She broke more than a dozen thermometers in a row, collected the mercury inside, and planned to sell it when silver prices skyrocketed. When I saw it, I quickly stopped her and told her seriously that mercury had nothing to do with silver and was extremely poisonous. After hearing me, she reluctantly sealed the bottle of mercury and gave it to me to dispose of a few years later. My nephew was humiliated by his girlfriend's parents because he had no house, no car, and no savings. When he got home heartbroken, my sister-in-law said to him, "I just heard gold prices are soaring. Silver must be high too. If your aunt hadn't stopped me from collecting mercury, you'd be a rich kid by now." My nephew went crazy with anger. He stabbed me to death. While I wasn't looking, when I opened my eyes again, I was reborn back to the day my sister-in-law was collecting mercury. "Sarah, why are you breaking all these thermometers? What a waste. And what's that silver stuff? Why are you messing with it?" My mom's voice came from the living room. My sister-in-law's voice followed right after. "Mom, you don't understand. This is mercury. It's just unhardened silver. It's worth a fortune. I'm breaking thermometers to collect mercury. How is that a waste? I'm saving up for your grandson's wife fund." My mom looked at me doubtfully. "Emily, is what your sister-in-law said true? Is there really silver inside thermometers?" Hearing that familiar question, I finally confirmed I had been reborn. She said exactly the same thing in my past life. "Tch, Emily, I'm asking you a question. You're getting more and more disrespectful, not as cute as when you were little." I snapped back to my senses at my mom's annoyed voice. I pretended to think, the stuff in thermometers is called mercury. That's true, but I don't know if it's silver." Sarah looked triumphantly at my mom. "See, even your college-educated daughter says it's mercury. What else do you doubt?" My mom looked at me joyfully. "Emily, is it true? Is it really silver inside thermometers?" I repeated. "I said it's mercury. Whether it's silver or not, I don't know." As much as I wanted them to suffer, I couldn't directly lie and say mercury was silver. Otherwise, when they eventually found out the truth, they'd blame me again. I wasn't going to repeat my past mistake. Sarah rolled her eyes. "College graduate, huh? Of course mercury is silver. Why else would it be called liquid silver?" She suddenly remembered something and turned to me. "Oh, right, Emily. Go buy more thermometers from the pharmacy. Break them like I did, and collect the mercury in glass bottles." My eyes lit up. I nodded excitedly. "Really? Mercury is silver? Then our family's gonna be rich. I'll go buy all the thermometers in the store. New phone. New laptop. New tablet. Here I come." I was about to rush out when Sarah suddenly blocked the door, slapped her forehead, and said, "Oops, I remembered wrong. Emily, don't go. Mercury isn't silver at all." My mom panicked.
Why not?
"You just said it was silver. You said we'd have money for our grandson's wife. Are you messing with me?" I saw Sarah frantically signaling my mom. My mom seemed to catch on and shut up. I pretended not to notice Sarah's little gestures and nodded disappointedly. I pointed at the glass bottle of mercury on the table.
"I see.
If mercury isn't silver, I'll throw this bottle away for you later." Sarah and my mom spoke at the same time.
No.
I sneered inwardly.
My guess was right.
They hadn't suddenly realized mercury wasn't silver. They just didn't want to share it with me. But that suited me perfectly. All my acting just now had paid off. Sarah realized she'd sounded too sharp and softened her tone. "It's okay, Emily. I'm going out later anyway. I'll throw it away myself." My mom quickly agreed.
Yes. Yes.
"Your sister-in-law will throw it away. Didn't you say you were going out? Hurry up." I nodded.
All right.
"I'm leaving." After closing the door, I didn't go downstairs. I pressed my ear to the door, wanting to hear what they'd say once I was gone. A few seconds later, Sarah's voice came first. "Mom, are you stupid? I was signaling you like crazy, and you still didn't get it. Look how greedy your daughter was. There's only so much mercury. If she wastes all the money, how's Liam going to buy a house?" My mom laughed awkwardly. Okay, I didn't get it at first. So it really is silver? You weren't lying?" Sarah clicked her tongue. "Your mind's really going. Of course it's silver. If I didn't lie to Emily, she'd buy all the thermometers in the pharmacy. This is the highest grade kind of silver. It's liquid now, but if we dry it in the sun, it'll turn solid, maybe even more valuable than gold." I covered my mouth, barely holding back laughter. Dry mercury into solid silver? Do you even know why it's called mercury? Hurry downstairs. It would be too awkward if she caught me eavesdropping. I went downstairs and checked into a hotel for a week. I wasn't going home anytime soon. Who'd want to live in a toxic gas chamber? This time, I wasn't getting involved in anything. I was just going to watch their late karma unfold. I spent the next few days in the hotel watching shows and playing games. My mom didn't call once. She even blocked my number, afraid I'd ask for money. I enjoyed the peace. 5 days later, she finally called again. I estimated the mercury poisoning was now in full swing. As soon as I answered, she sounded panicked. Emily, are you back yet? Hurry to the hospital. Liam has a high fever and won't wake up. The doctor says it's mercury poisoning. Your sister-in-law insists it's just a regular fever and refuses treatment. But the doctor says his life is in danger if he doesn't stay. Emily, you're the most educated in the family. You must know if mercury is poisonous. Come convince your sister-in-law. I only have one grandson. I answered unrelated. Excitedly, mercury, how could he get mercury poisoning? I thought your sister-in-law threw that bottle away. Don't tell me she never threw it away. You were trying to sell it behind my back, weren't you? My mom snapped. Emily, this is no time for money. Your nephew could die. I put you on speakerphone. Tell your sister-in-law if mercury is poisonous. I immediately said excitedly, yes, it's poisonous. Mercury is super toxic. Throw it away right now. And tell me where you throw it. My mom hurried to Sarah. You hurt her. Emily said it's poisonous. Let Liam get treatment. Sarah clicked her tongue and whispered, Mom, are you stupid? She just wants us to throw it away so she can pick it up. If it was really poisonous, would she say that? Besides, if mercury is toxic, why are we fine? I've just had a little chest pain and headache. Nothing else. Well, that's your own misunderstanding. I did tell you it was poisonous. You just refused to believe me. And I was recording the whole call. If anything happened, it wasn't my fault. My mom suddenly realized. You're right. I've also had chest pain and headaches. If mercury was poisonous, we'd be sick too. That worthless girl is tricking us. I sneered inwardly. You two only had mild symptoms because Liam was breathing in most of the vapor. But I wasn't going to explain. Let ignorance kill them. My mom had forgotten to hang up, so I clearly heard the doctor talking to them. Have you decided? The patient's life is in danger. He needs ICU. Go pay now. Every second counts. Sarah refused angrily. What do you mean? Cursing my son? It's just a fever. Have you never had a fever? Why didn't you die from it? My mom joined in.
Exactly.
You greedy hospital. All you want is money. Mercury poisoning? You've been bribed by my worthless daughter. She's been eyeing our money. Tell her. She's not getting our mercury. The money goes to Liam's house. Even if I die, it all goes to Liam. The doctor cut her off. What are you talking about?
Bribed?
This is a legitimate hospital. You'll be legally responsible for slander. Who told you mercury can be sold? It's a dangerous chemical. If you have it, bring it here. We have a professional waste disposal team. My mom sounded scared and turned to Sarah. Sarah, the doctor said it's dangerous and can't be sold. Could Liam really be sick from mercury? Sarah ignored her and shouted at the doctor.
See?
You're just trying to trick us into giving you the mercury. I'm not that stupid. I didn't hang up. I wanted to savor every syllable of their self-destruction. In the background, I heard the doctor let out a heavy, frustrated sigh, the sound of a man who had realized he was trying to argue science with people who thought gravity was an opinion. Fine. The doctor's voice was cold now. If you refuse to consent to treatment, sign this discharge against medical advice. If your son dies in the parking lot, the hospital is not liable. I'll sign it. Sarah shrieked. Come on, Liam. These people are just trying to steal your inheritance. We're going home to dry the rest of that silver. Once it's solid, we'll buy a hospital that actually works. I heard the rustle of paper, the aggressive scratch of a pen, and then the sound of a gurney being wheeled away. My mother was still on the line, breathing heavily. Emily? You still there? She whispered, her voice trembling with a mix of greed and fear. I'm here, Mom, I said, my voice dripping with fake concern. Is Liam okay? Did you throw away the mercury, like I said? Don't you try to trick me, she snapped, suddenly energized by Sarah's paranoia. I know your game. You want that poison for yourself. Sarah said once we put it in the oven on low heat, the toxins will burn off and leave the pure silver behind. We're doing it tonight. I felt a chill that had nothing to do with the hotel's air conditioning. Heating mercury in an enclosed kitchen? That wasn't just poisoning. That was an execution. The oven. I asked, my heart hammering against my ribs.
Wow.
Sarah is so smart. I never would have thought of that. Make sure you close all the windows so the silver doesn't evaporate out, okay? We know what we're doing. She huffed and finally hung up. I sat on the edge of my hotel bed and checked the recording.
Perfect.
I had them on tape refusing medical advice, accusing doctors of bribery, and confirming their plan to heat a deadly chemical. In my past life, I was the one who scrubbed the floors and opened the windows, absorbing the toxins to save them, only to be murdered for my interference. This time, I was going to be the grieving daughter who tried her best from a safe distance. I didn't have to wait long. 6 hours later, my phone screamed. It was a call from my brother, David. He worked late shifts and usually stayed out of the family drama, but now he was hysterical. Emily, get to the house. There's ambulances everywhere. Mom and Sarah are being carried out on stretchers, and Liam... Oh God, Emily, Liam isn't breathing. I arrived at the scene just as the hazmat team was sealing off the front door. The neighbors were huddled on the sidewalk, whispering. I saw my mother being loaded into an ambulance, her face a sickly gray, her eyes bulging. Sarah was next to her, clawing at her own throat, her mind clearly unraveling from the acute neurological damage. David, I ran to my brother, putting on my best devastated face. What happened? I told them it was poisonous. I told them on the phone. They tried to cook it, Emily, David sobbed, clutching his head. The whole kitchen is coated in it. The fire department said the vapor levels are lethal. They found Liam in his bedroom. He didn't even make it to the hospital. I looked at the house I had once died in. In my past life, Liam had grown up to be a resentful, violent man who killed me because his mother told him I stole his wealth. Now he had died a rich kid in his mother's eyes, suffocated by the very silver she thought would buy him a future. 2 days later, I sat in the intensive care unit. My mother and Sarah were in separate rooms, both suffering from severe tremors, kidney failure, and mercury erythism, a state of intense irritability and near madness. Sarah was awake when I walked in. She looked like a skeleton. Her hair was falling out in clumps, and her hands shook so violently she couldn't hold a cup of water. You, she hissed, her voice a ragged ghost of its former self. You did this. You knew the oven would make it angry. You didn't stop us. I told you it was poisonous, Sarah, I said, leaning over her bed, my voice a soothing, deadly whisper. I told you on the phone. I have the recording. The police have it too. They're very interested in why you brought a lethal chemical back to a house with a child after a doctor told you it would kill him. Sarah's eyes filled with a panicked, fractured light. It was silver. It was supposed to be silver. It was never silver, I said, patting her trembling hand. But don't worry. You won't have to worry about Liam's wife fund anymore. Or a house. Or a car. The state is going to provide you with a very small, very secure room for a long, long time. It's called a prison cell. And the best part? They don't allow thermometers in there. She let out a strangled, broken wail. I walked into my mother's room next. She was staring at the ceiling, her mind slipping away. Emily, she croaked. Is it dry yet? Is Liam rich? Liam is resting, Mom, I said, tucking the blanket around her. And the silver? It's gone. Just like everything else. A month later, the house was condemned and demolished. The soil had to be excavated. My brother David, the only one who hadn't participated in the madness, was the sole heir to what remained of the family assets, which was basically nothing after the medical bills and the hazmat fines. I helped him move into a small apartment far away from the toxic memories. I don't understand why they wouldn't listen to you, David said, shaking his head as he unpacked a box. Some people are so hungry for gold that they'll swallow hot coals just because they're the same color, I said. I went back to my own apartment, the one I had bought with my own hard-earned money in this life. I sat by the window and looked at the silver moon. In my past life, I was a corpse. In this life, I was a witness. The nephew who would have stabbed me was gone. The sister-in-law who would have blamed me was in a psychiatric ward facing manslaughter charges. And the mother who would have enabled it all was a shell of a woman who couldn't remember her own name. I picked up a thermometer from my first aid kit, a digital one. I smiled at the glowing numbers. No mercury, no silver, just the cold, hard truth.